So I drew some of these way back in, I think it was like 2016, I think.
Yeah. Oh, snap. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really compare.
No, that's great. And you kept it all this time.
Yeah, man.
Wolverine? Sick. Dude, I love Wolverine. I think my favorite's Gambit. So
Gambit, right? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Hey, the card throwing thing. Here's my Darth.
Nice.
Probably not so good, but where's my favorite one? Oh, here's my favorite dragon.
Let me see. Yo, dude, you know what's cool though? Because drawing is just communication, right?
Yeah.
And your drawings are just like really clear, and you communicate the point, and that's like, and essentially what an artist does. They communicate through visual images, and so like I got that right away. You know, Wolverine looks like Wolverine, Darth Vader looks like Darth Vader.
That's an interesting point, man. Like 100%, because when I draw, I feel like I am, like, part of me is coming out in a way, like the things that I like and I enjoy. Here's another dragon.
Nice, dude. It looks like you're having fun.
I'm having a hell of a lot of fun. Like
that's the best thing about it. Like you're having so much fun.
I did like this very bad sketch of Ray.
Oh, with the lightsaber?
With the lightsaber. It wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Then I did my uncle's an artist, so he's pretty damn good at this stuff. I'm not.
Yeah.
But here, who do you think this is?
That's the Lord of the Rings.
Hey, you got it.
Yeah.
So it does actually look like him.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you captured the essence of the characters, which is great.
Here's the last one, then we'll get into today.
Oh, I know that. I just don't know exactly like where, but I've seen it.
General Grievous, Star Wars, bro.
There you go.
So those are just some of them. My favorite one I actually have hanging up in my room. It's like, you know, Logan, the actual movie, how one of the posters was him, his hand, and he's holding his Daphne, the actor's hand as well. Yeah. Like that was my favorite one. So I wish I could show you that one. And then my uncle drew for me the old Spider-Man because I was obsessed with Spider-Man. So I have that, both of them hanging together, because they're both two pieces of artwork that I absolutely adore. But anyway, man, enough about me. Well, everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Storybox podcast. I'm going to go geeking out today because I have an artist on the Storybox today. He's a character designer, an illustrator, a very accomplished one at that. He's also an author, and he's very successful with over 1.3 million followers on YouTube and 62 million plus views. His name is Tran. Now, if you haven't seen this guy's work, what are you doing? Go and see it, because this guy has drawn in some incredible, insane pieces of art. At 19, he worked on his first feature, Earth to Echo, which is from Walt Disney in 2014. He was a lead character designer. How many 19-year-olds do you know that were a lead character designer for a Disney film? And the movie grossed $45 million at the box office. Right now, man, Ross, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to the Storybox podcast today.
Wow, thank you. I'm blushing. I'm just like, wow, I've never had someone talk so highly of me.
No, man, you deserve it. Like, look at that. Look at all that information, all the incredible.
Oh my God. Because like, I'm just like in my zone working every day. So to have someone just repeat my accomplishments and the numbers, I'm like, wow, okay, I guess I did pretty well.
You've done extremely well, man. And you've kind of put me to shame a little bit by all the stuff that you've done. You're incredibly humble. Like, we were just talking a little bit before, and I was showing you my artwork and you were commenting how good it was. And yet I don't even think it's good. So
What?
it's like, it's fun, man, to
Mhm,
have somebody like yourself that is doing this amazing thing. It's inspiring.
mhm.
And I guess the first question that I want to start off with for you, and I read it out in the beginning, how successful you are. But what does success look like for you?
Oh man, that word, that concept changes every year. And right now in my more adult life, success to me is the feeling of being free, the feeling of being not constrained to like numbers or money or an idea or like, I think the idea of me wanting like to just make art, and not having to think about anyone else's opinion, the
Mm,
feeling of being free, I think that was success looks like to me. To be able to do everything I want to do and not worry. And I feel like I'm slowly, slowly getting there. I'm in the middle of a move, so all my worries are up. It's just like a lot at once. But to me, that's what success is.
mm. Why do you think it changes for you over time, or for every year? Why do you think it changes?
I think we just, mature as people, as humans. At a young age, I wanted to work at like the studio, and then a few years later, you know what? I don't want to work at the studio. I want to kind of do my own thing. I want to publish my own art, my own book. And then I made a YouTube channel. And then I'm like, you know what? When I reach 100,000 subscribers, I feel like I'm successful. And then I reach 100,000 subscribers, and I'm like, okay, well, this is not what I, envisioned. Maybe when I reach 500,000 subscribers, I'll feel happy and successful. I reach 500,000, it's like, whatever. How about when I reach 1 million? And so it just kind of changes, and you realize like it's not external, it's really internal. And that's, I mean, it's been said and done. We're all human and we all kind of relate and connect to one another. But success to me does feel like, you know what? I wake up in the morning and I can kind of express myself like through art or through any kind of artistic creative medium, and just relax and enjoy the day. If
Mm,
I feel like I've had a good day and I'm able to do good work and like inspire people and help the world, that's what success is to me.
mm. I love that definition, man, especially the freedom aspect. Have you
Yeah.
found it over the years? Have you found it difficult to actually create a free life for yourself?
Definitely. It's definitely been hard because we live in society now where it's just like instant gratification, there's so many apps, everything's about numbers, everyone judge like it's just really judgmental.
Mm,
And I don't think us humans are like evolved to be equipped with that much data, information, and to be judged so much, right? It's like if you think about all your followers inside a room, like think about maybe 100, I don't know, 1 million people saying you suck or something, or criticizing you. We're not equipped for that. And so I think, but slowly but surely, my journey has been always kind of removing those voices and following my own gut and kind of, finding my own light and succeeding through that. If I'm able to be happy doing what I'm doing, then maybe I can help someone else, to help them realize it's not about
mm,
everything else externally, but it's really about how you feel inside and the art you want to create.
mm. What do you do when you do face criticism for your pieces of artwork? What do you do to combat
Mhm.
that?
Right. I always take it with a grain of salt, because they have an idea, but I only let like the voices that I trust really enter my mind stream, because everyone has an opinion. It's just who we are. Everyone and their moms have an opinion. And so when I am willing to kind of take like critique, then I will set my mind up for that. But for the most part, to be a creator nowadays in today's society, you have to have really thick skin or else, right? Or you're gonna like kind of be it's it's a mental game
Yeah,
every single day, right? And you wake up and it's just a mental game until you fall asleep.
100%.
It's right.
Yeah.
And I think my rhythm is like I wake up and just do my best.
Mm.
And when I want to improve, I listen a little bit and see how it applies to me and improve. But for the most part, I'm very kind of open-minded and go with the flow and realize like everyone has an opinion. Just don't let it affect you and your work, because it's a fleeting thought.
Mm.
That's what I've learned. It's like they're fleeting thoughts and they don't matter. It's just like, yeah.
I have to agree with you on that. Like 2 weeks ago, I had 2 days in a row where
Mhm.
two people literally let me have it. And you don't deserve that kind of stuff. You don't deserve
Yeah.
that hatred or that
Yeah.
negativity. But
Yeah.
yet we get it, and it's almost like, okay, well, how am I going to process this horrible information? Am I going to use it to better myself, or am I going to wallow in self pity? And to be honest with you, man, like it's in our nature to wallow in self pity. It's like, oh, woe is me, that hurt. So
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
be down in the dumps for a couple of days.
Mhm.
Um, but really, when if you really look at it, that negativity is making you stronger. Because now, like recently, in the last 2 days, I actually shared it on my Instagram, my social media. But someone left a comment on one of my Instagram videos or not one on Instagram, my YouTube video. It
Mhm.
happened to be one of the most popular ones. And the comment was just like, I was laughing at it because
Yeah.
firstly, it didn't really make too much sense. And secondly,
Yeah.
it was like, well, why does your opinion matter that much? Honestly,
Mhm.
because you look at all the other comments, every
Mhm.
other comment has been positive. So
Mhm.
you look at the positive outweighs the negative.
Mhm.
So that's another line of thinking that I've been learning.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
art in itself, man, and same with this, it's very personal. Like you're putting
Mhm.
yourself out there. It's very expressive and
Mhm.
it's vulnerable. And
Yeah.
oftentimes, like it's commendable for you, man. I just want to say this for all this amazing artwork that you're putting out there. That's vulnerability
Mhm.
portrayed. So congratulations for doing that, man. And I guess I want to spin this whole tangent that I'm going on uh,
Yeah.
back to you a little bit and ask you, so what is it about art
Mm.
that you love the most?
What is it about art that I love the most? Ooh, that's interesting. I know what my spiritual answer is.
Mm.
Um, but so I have a couple of answers. So maybe I can like I think there are three answers. I think number one is maybe the deepest truth is I'm just good at it. So at a young age, I was like, oh, I have some artistic talents. And then I was like, oh, I should pursue this. And so it kind of just like launched me on that path. And then I realized like what I love about art, is I think I just have a visual, um, like a natural instinct to be able to express myself. And
Mhm.
I can use art to express my feeling and how like my own version of beauty and the ugliness in the world. I feel like we as artists, we are just like a medium to express the energy that we feel.
Mm.
And it, yeah, if you understand what I'm saying. And I'm
Yeah.
definitely trying to like steer my art into something more intimate. I feel like after a few years of being in the limelight and doing this professionally, I want to like be able to kind of express even more freely, and that is a even deeper intimate space and vulnerability that maybe I haven't tapped into. And I might trip you out for a second, but I think this might be relevant to our conversation right now.
Mm.
Is so me, RossDraws, Ross Tran, he creates art. He creates this kind of art, and he has XYZ and his style. But after I release this book, and it's it's the most amazing thing that I feel like I've ever tried to do. And one day, hopefully, it turns into an anime series. But that is, I feel like Tran, RossDraws, someone that has a name. But my spirit is even deeper than that. My spirit has no name. It's nameless. And I don't think I've ever created art from that space. You know, usually my art sometimes it's like, yeah, through Tran self-expression or for an art book or for a YouTube video. But there is a vulnerable space, is our soul and our spirit. And like, you know, through our whole lives, we have labels and we find interests that help shape define us. But I've never created art from like that really secret, vulnerable space that we're so scared of tapping into. If you kind of understand what I'm saying.
I do completely. What for you though,
Yeah,
has been the most intimate piece of artwork that you've ever created, the one that took the most out of you?
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's a few, but one of them really stuck out to me, and it's called Grandma's House. And my grandmother passed away, and that was like the first death I've ever truly experienced. And she was like my best friend. It was just, I was her favorite, it feels like, because I was like the firstborn, and she left us. And I wanted to try and create a space, a piece for her. And so I named it Grandma's House, and it's filled with things that she loved. And, you know, it's just a really intimate piece. And so whenever at conventions, people go up to me and are like, oh my gosh, can I buy a Grandma's House print? I'm like, oh, really? You know, it hits that much more deeply because someone else connects with it. And I think right there, it's like one of the best feelings you can have as a creator. It's like when you create something that really resonates and connect with people, and they kind of want it. They want that energy for themselves. And it's like that. That's why that's one of the, like my favorite pieces I've ever created.
I have to get my hands on this one as well.
Yeah.
Dude, like that hits home for me as well.
Yeah.
Like, but for my grandfather. So my grandfather was my biggest mentor. I mean, my audience knows this.
Yeah.
He was the one that taught me my values, my character traits, excellent. He actually took me to art classes when I was growing up, even though I hated going to art classes, believe it or not, because I felt like I was being subdued and told you need to draw this rather than be expressive and draw whatever the hell you want to draw.
Right.
So I think it's that's a powerful piece of artwork, man. And
thank you.
It's hitting home for me too. But, apart from me remembering my grandfather right now, I want to steer the conversation back to you a little bit and ask you, what was the biggest lesson that your grandmother taught you?
The biggest lesson? Oh man. You know what? It's didn't come from her mouth, but it's her energy that's really taught me something. It's literally just don't take life seriously. Have a laugh. Have some fun. She's always laughing. She's always making fun of me. And that's why I really was like really attracted to her energy. And she's just so, you know, she's just fun. You know, she just cares about her family and is always laughing with my grandpa. That's why I think their relationship is like, oh, I'm going to cry right now.
Go for it, man. We'll both do it. Like every time I speak about my grandfather, gets me all emotional too.
When I observe my grandpa and grandma's relationship, that's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. They're like best friends, and they just exist, and they just are just smiling and laughing with each other, and it's not serious. You know, you're like, oh, my camera.
We're
Oh
in a
my
very
god.
intimate moment, and then bam, the camera goes off.
I know. Should I continue or should I fix my camera? What do you think?
Yeah, fix your camera, man.
All right, give me a second.
All good, brother. Hey, he's back.
All right, we're back. Oh my gosh. My grandma just knows. She's like, don't tell this now.
She doesn't want to have people
Right.
see you cry, man.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. But yeah, I think observing my grandpa and grandma's relationship is something that like you just see out of a movie, but it's in real life, and it's not like it's so simple. I think the most beautiful things in life are just the simplicity of the moment, and they're just really happy being around each other, and that's something really special.
A beautiful moment, man. A beautiful story. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think I could go on and on and on about the stories from my grandfather and what he taught me, but I think what you mentioned with your grandmother and grandfather's relationship, it was pure, and you don't really see that kind of pure relationship, sadly, or many of them these days. And I think it needs to be, that message needs to be spread far and wide of you can live by this kind of example. And yeah, man. Okay. We're gonna try and steer the conversation forward a little bit more for you.
Yeah.
But when was the age for you that you realized, hang on a minute, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to make a career out of this?
Ooh, I was around 15 or 16 because I was like, I always loved drawing and creating characters throughout my whole entire life, but I never knew you could do it as like for a career until 15 or 16. I, browsed the internet and I was like, whoa, you can actually do this for a living. And then I just spent the remainder of my high school days trying my best to get better at art and get into art school. Yeah.
Wow. So did you have this talent? Well, when was the moment that you figured out you had this talent? Like what age were you?
I was probably like 4 or 5 or like kindergarten when like a cute girl was like I drew, I think it's the Vaporeon, the Pokemon for like cute girl.
Yep.
For a cute girl. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're so talented. I was like, that feeling of, wow, I guess I'm like, like a kid. And I was like, that was a great feeling. I just wanted to like keep going.
Here's a more funny question. Has being an artist, being a great artist at that helped you on the ladies front in future times?
So the thing about me is I am a workaholic.
Same here.
I just like diving myself into my own space. And I don't know if it's healthy or not, but I just, when the right person comes along, they will. And I just think things should be natural. Obviously there are some lonely nights, but this is what I've chosen. And when if I do get into a relationship, I want to have enough time to be able to, build something like that. I just don't want to, I know from my current life and career, a relationship isn't sustainable. I think I just want to build this out, build my dream out before I, let someone else in.
I feel you, man. I'm in the same boat. Like, I think it'd be selfish in a way. Like, it'd be selfish of me to like not give that person enough time. And they would crave being with you, or I think it's wrong. But I understand. I'm a workaholic too. I'm there's so many things that I want to do.
Right.
And oftentimes you think so little time, right?
All right. Dude, that's me every day. I feel like where did the day go? Why is time moving by so fast? Like, Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, relationships, thing that I've learned at least with them is that if it's not the right one, then they won't support you in whatever you do.
Mhm.
They won't understand, secondly, and then they're going to bring you down, thirdly.
Mhm.
So you
Mhm.
want to, I think what you said was a pretty good point. You wait for the right one, make sure that they are, you know, it comes naturally, and like
Mhm.
they actually want to, they understand that you're working really, really hard for your own reasons because you came first before them.
Right.
So like that's what I've learned at least with relationships in the past and all the mistakes that I've made. But I've just been learning a lot from those mistakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't want to go too far on that tangent.
No worry.
What is your goals for the future, man? Like, where do you see yourself? Like, do you see yourself with over 13 million followers, or what's the career trajectory for you?
I have some short-term and long-term goals. But short-term is I want to turn my book into an anime series, and so that's hopefully it happens. You know, I'm gonna grind every day to try to make that happen. Long-term goals, I just want to work with a team of like 10 or less people, you know, who really believe in that RossDraws energy and spirit of inspiration. You know, I want to help better lives. I want to bring more art into the world. I just want to make the world a better place. And
Mm,
so I just want to keep growing that, like, my brand to be able to do that on a bigger scale, because I feel like the fans and audience who knows me believes in my mission a lot. You know, it's creating from within. It's passion, it's inspiration, and I think the more we have of that in the world, I think the world is a more beautiful place.
mm. That's beautiful, man. Show us your amazing book.
Oh man, ah.
Oh, that is so cool. You got two of them.
So, so this one is the regular Nima
Yep.
cover, and then I have an Eclipse limited edition cover,
Ah,
which is only 2,600 made. And so yeah,
that
numbered and
is
signed.
epic, man. Did you
Thank
find it
you.
difficult to actually create your own book?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. I This is 100% self-published, and I'm a guy who just likes to learn about things, you know, and figure it out. You know, I find a problem, I'm just like, all right, let me just kind of figure it out. And so I kind of wanted to do this one by myself. And so whew, this was this was hard. I wanted to make this an experience. You know, I had to learn how to print the color and the paper material, and also I added foil. If you can see, there's some
You did
nice little
too.
foil there. And so I just want this to represent me. And so this is everything that embodies me. When I was originally writing this and trying to create this book, I was faced with a lot of questions like what do you want your art book to be about? And like what experience do you want to give? Because I was inspired by anime, TV show, video game, and I want to combine all of that into this book. And so I did. There's like character pages with like stat bars, you know, it's like a video game guide, but also it has a story, you know, it
Oh,
has a so it's I call it like a cinematic art book, a cinematic storybook where there's a story and you're following along with the character and the narrative. And then when you meet a brand new character, you learn more about them in their whole character page. And so yeah.
you're a genius, mate.
Thanks.
Yeah. Like, how old are you now? Just so people know.
I just turned 28.
You're 28. When did you publish the book?
Last year I was 27.
Congratulations, man. Like, how many 27-year-olds do you know that have published their own book?
You're being too kind.
No, like seriously, because especially something like that is so enriching and creative, like
Mhm.
that book. Congratulations, man! Like you should be very, very damn proud of yourself,
Oh, thank you.
and the fact that it was self-published. Like, yeah,
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
that's a whole nother kettle of fish, if I can use an analogy, in of itself. And the reason why I say this, man, is because I just finished my own book. So
Nice.
and I'm 24. So you're way ahead in terms of age, but still, like I know personally how hard it is to make your own book. It's a lot of
Definitely.
work. It's tough.
Right. No,
Yeah,
it's super tough.
that's why I'm proud of you, man. But if someone was to get the book right now
Mhm.
and turn to any random page, what page would you recommend that they turn to?
Dude, that is hard.
Uh-huh.
How am I supposed to answer this? Oh, I got it. I got
Okay.
it. So this is one of my favorite pages. And I kind of put this in here because it represents who I am. And it's probably page 125, which is essentially the last page for the story before you get into all the characters. But I have this character named Flip, and he's a boy, and he wants to be the world's greatest chef. And he travels the world to collect the best ingredients and wants to just make the best food experiences. And that's his life, nothing else matters. And the last line of the story is why I feel like this page is my favorite page. And I'm gonna read it to you real quick.
Okay.
So you always go in 110% if it's something you're passionate about. Mixing and matching different ingredients is what I live for. The way flavor and aroma and texture all come together to create a perfect culinary experience. Nothing is greater than that satisfaction. It gets my blood simmering. And so that's like young Ross just finding something he's really passionate about and going, you know what? I'm going to give 110% of my energy and nothing less.
Mm.
And that's why I put that in there. It's like to remind people, like we have this inner child like inside of us who is just loves to, have fun and create. And I feel like we lose sight of that inner child sometimes as we get older. And so I created Flip to embody that childlike spirit.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think who was it? I can't remember who said this, but it's going back to that childlike mentality or attitude that when we do grow older, we have a lot more pressure, we have a lot more stress, anxiety. We have a lot more responsibilities that come upon us, and it's like we get old because we have forgotten how to play or how to be a kid. And I
Yeah.
think that message once again needs to be spread far and wide, is just enjoy life, enjoy yourself, enjoy the creative process, enjoy the failures, enjoy the hard times, because like Matthew McConaughey said to me, the alternative seems to suck. So
Yeah.
why not enjoy what you have right now? And dude, this is great. I'm loving this conversation, man. Couple more questions for you, if you don't mind, dude.
Yeah.
So you were the lead character designer
Mm-hmm.
in this Disney film, Earth to
Mm-hmm.
Echo.
Mm-hmm.
Did they approach you or did you approach them?
Oh man, I got referred to by a friend to the director, and so originally this was a movie produced by Disney, and then they sold it to Relativity Media, and basically I was 19 in art school, and my best friend Noel was like he got picked up for this film. And the director was like, "Hey, we need a character designer. Do you know any?" And he gave my director like 3, and director Dave Green, he chose me to do an art test. And he said, I did this art test back in my hometown because it was like summer break, and I turned it in, and he's like, "You're it. This is what I want." And I was like, oh my God, sick. And so I I started working at the Walt Disney Studio offices. And it was wild, it shows that like, word of mouth and friends are super helpful to I guess any facet of your life. And you should kind of it's just like a nice story. I try not to uh be enemies with anyone, but like my best friend just saw my talent and wanted to spread the word.
You're a kind man. Same with your friend. Now, for those people that want to learn more about you, get to know the real Ross,
Mhm.
artwork, everything like that, where can people find you, man?
Oh man, we have a million platforms nowadays, but I'm mostly known on YouTube as RossDraws and also on Instagram as RossDraws. And yeah, YouTube is more where I teach and have fun. My whole message is I want to draw and make you laugh. I want art to be fun and digestible and approachable. And so on YouTube, you'll see me turn my mom into Wonder Woman, or some of my friend into like Princess Elsa, or just turn a pizza into Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I'd probably teach you a little bit of something along the way, like little art tips. For example, blue is the color of trust. And that's something you can take with you for the rest of your life. Right. And so like on my YouTube channel, I love to kind of have fun with art and then teach you a little something. And on Instagram is more of like, oh, it's pretty, and kind of like more of my gallery. But those are my main platforms. Sure.
And we're seeing, like, for those people that are actually watching the video,
Yeah.
Nima in the background is wearing blue. So there you go. And I'm wearing blue today. Blue is my favorite color, and for good reason. Because of that significance. Like, I want people to be able to trust me, and I think it's great because today you've trusted me today, Ross, with unboxing a little bit of your story. So I really do appreciate that. Do you ever get sick of it? Do you ever get sick and tired of drawing, doing this artwork? Does it ever get too taxing?
I used to, but I think it's just growing up and trying to find your different priorities and understanding your balance. And I think balance is the biggest thing. It's hard, to find that balance. Like everyone is trying to still find their balance with all the relationships and the career and everything. But I used to get a little burnt out because maybe I was spending my energy into something that maybe I didn't truly believe in. So you kind of have to find your intention and angle. For example, I used to make a lot more fan art, art for TVs and games and my favorite stuff. But I realized I didn't have my own world out there. I'm always drawing other people's characters and world, which I love, but I didn't have my own creations out there, which is when I started Nima. That's my own world, and I get so much energy creating inside that world, and it really helped refresh my mental palette. And so I still do fan art here and there, but it's like finding that balance of kind of not getting to a place where you feel like it's a job.
That's good, man. I like that. Two quick final questions for you because I want to be respectful of your time.
Yeah.
So this is my all-time favorite question that I ask everyone at the end. So I want you to imagine with me. Yep.
My camera might cut out, letting you know, because I don't know the timer, but we're gonna. If it does, we'll reset the question.
Okay, no worries. You want me to say the question again?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. So this is my all-time favorite question. So it's a hypothetical one, but just imagine with me for a moment that you've been able to reach the age of 100. All your friends have decided to put together a film for you of everything you've ever said and everything you've ever done. Don't ask me how in the world they got it all. We'll call it magic. But they've been able to get it and show it to you on your 100th birthday. What do you want that film to say and to show about your life?
Damn. Oof. Oof. Damn. Wow. I hopefully by 100 want to bring a lot more happiness in the world. I want to grow my own world that can inspire other people to grow their own world and pay it forward. Hopefully Nima becomes that anime series and gets turned into a franchise, like get toys and this whole universe. And it helps allow me to create more universes. And when people look at my story, know that you are capable of doing everything that you've ever dreamed of. I'm a guy that started from nothing, and it just takes, we're not born with anything special. It's the light that you want to find within you that pushes you to create everything. And so when I'm 100, I want to hopefully share my story with other people, and it helps their story, and then it just keep paying it forward into their own fan base, etc. And so hopefully I also have a family that can carry on my legacy of kind of keep inspiring the world, kind of like Bob Ross. He still lives inside our world, and his message is exactly kind of like what I want to say. It's just create and be happy. And it's easier said than done, but that's what I want to do with my life.
It's a flow-on effect, right? I absolutely love the chain reaction. Another analogy we can use. Ross, I've really enjoyed this conversation, man. My final question for you is more of a fun question.
Nice.
Now, we were speaking a little bit about food in your book before. What has been the weirdest food combination you've ever tried?
The weirdest food combination I've ever tried. Ooh. I can't think of the top of my head, but I have a weird, not weird. It's a food I'm not used to that I can probably tell you.
Go for it.
You might know it. It's Vegemite.
Yuck.
You don't like it either? Oh my gosh. Everyone in Australia eats it, and I've never got into it yet.
I hate the stuff. I'm very unpatriotic with that stuff. I think it is the worst substance that Australia has put out. I apologize for all those Aussies that are listening to this and thinking, well, you're not Australian, Jay. I'm like, well, I think I'm more Australian for not liking it. I am Australian for liking it. So that's just my personal opinion and taste buds. They don't like it, but hey, I might be weird. So I'm glad that, do you like it or no?
I didn't. I don't remember much, but I remember it being salty. And maybe I can give it a real try next time. But apparently, it's Americans have tried it and they don't really kind of get it yet, but Australians love it. So
it doesn't vibe with them. It doesn't vibe with me either. So it's salty. It just has this weird flavor to it.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't even go near that stuff.
Vegemite.
Ross, man, where can people buy your book? I'm curious.
You can buy on my website. You can go to RossDraws.com/Nima. And if you want to also kind of dive into something, I think the best thing I've ever worked on, it's Nima Find Your Light animation on YouTube. I think we're at maybe 700,000 views on that. But for me, when I launched this book, I've worked on it for like over 5 years. I want it to have the best debut entry. And so me and a group of talented animators spent 1.5 years working on this animation called Find Your Light, and it's featured Nima and the character. And if you're interested, it's on YouTube for sure.
I'll make sure that's all linked below as well. But Ross Tran, thank you so much, man, for coming on the Storybox podcast and being vulnerable enough to share your story.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is so fun, and I'm happy we are able to connect across the world.